broadcasting across the nation from the East Coast to the West, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
Welcome to TechTime with Nathan Mumm, the show that makes you go, Technology News of the Week, the show for the everyday person talking about technology, broadcasting across the nation with insightful segments on subjects weeks ahead of the mainstream media. We welcome our radio audience of 35 million listeners to an hour of insightful technology news. I'm Nathan Mumm, your host and technologist with over 30 years of technology expertise. Our co-host, Mike Rday, is in studio, of course, and he's the award-winning author and our human behavior expert. And he's going to love today's episode because it's all about AI. So he'll be excited about that, right, Mike?
Yes.
All right, there you go. Now we're live streaming during our show on four of the most popular platforms, including YouTube, Twitch.tv, Facebook, and LinkedIn. We encourage you to visit us online at techtimeradio.com and become a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/techtimeradio. We are all friends from different backgrounds, but we bring the best technology show possible weekly for our family, friends, and fans to enjoy. We're glad to have Odie, our producer, at the control panel today. Welcome, everyone. Let's start today's show.
Now on today's show.
Today, we dive into the mysteries lurking beneath the surface. Somewhere an AI whispering a warning that would shatter a marriage. But was it forethought or something far more unsettling? Elsewhere, a breach has left sensitive data exposed in the shadows, raising troubling questions about who might be watching. Google quietly rolls out a new AI and accessibility features, hints at something transformative. But could this be innovation or not? Meanwhile, Phil Hennessey steps into the conversation to unveil the hidden works of large language models, the silent architects of artificial intelligence. Finally, whispers of the next iPhone grow louder. Yet only one true secret is known, and we'll be talking about those on the Nathan Nugget.
Is that why you're whispering?
That's right. This is a mystery.
It
was a mystery intro.
It wasn't a mystery.
Okay, mystery intro.
It was just you sounding like you had laryngitis.
Okay. In addition, we have our standard features, including Mike's mesmerizing moment, our technology fail of the week, and a possible Nathan Nugget, and of course, our pick of the day whiskey tasting to see if our selected whiskey pick gets 0, 1, or 2 thumbs up by the end of the show. But now it's time for the latest headlines in the world of technology.
Here are our top technology stories of the week.
All right, story number 1. Google rules out a new AI and accessibility features to Android and Chrome. Let's go to Lisa Walker for more on the story.
Last week, Google announced new AI and accessibility features for Android and Chrome. With the updated TalkBack, Android's screen reader, users can now inquire about the content of images using Gemini. For instance, if a friend sends you a photo of their new guitar, you can receive a description and ask about its brand and color. Additionally, descriptions are now available for your entire phone screen. This means that while shopping in an app, you can ask Gemini about the material of an item you're interested in, or check if there is a discount. Now that's an AI everyone can support. Over to you in the studio.
Is it?
Oh,
Is it really?
Well, besides what Lisa mentioned, Google also announced that it's updating the expressive captions. That's Android's real-time captions features to use this AI to capture when someone's saying and how they say it. So this is, I guess, a very important aspect is I can say no or I can say no, and they have two different meanings, right? So each of those mean something quite a bit different. A no could just be a simple no, whereas a no could be very emphasized and say with meaning. And so the AI now is taking this into effect to capture this and be able to translate this back. Now, just think if you were having expressive captions and you're a sports announcer and you say it's an amazing shot, or it's like, way to go, hit, home run. The inflection, the whistling, the clearing of the throat, there you go, clearing of the throat, is all important aspects. And when people,
where's my caption there?
That's available. Now, Google's also making it easier. This is the big win right here. to access PDFs on Chrome, because it used to always, when you open a PDF, and normally open up like the Edge browser if you're on a Windows PC. And if it did it, I have a PC with Windows, and then you would open up in Safari, and normally the PDF default. Now Chrome has a PDF default reader, and it allows Chrome to recognize these types of PDFs. It allows you to highlight, copy, and search for text like any other page you use on your screen reader to find them. This is thanks to the new introduction of optical character recognition, which is OCR, and Google now has that standard on all their Chrome browsers. So if you're going to open up a PDF moving forward, you're going to now be able to do searches, be able to edit it, all for free in the Chrome browser. All right, well, there you go. Google is now trying to have these features be important. They also have page zoom. They have a couple other things, and they are spending time right now really hitting the accessibility options and growing those out for a smaller demographic, but a very passionate demographic of individuals that need to use the web, that want to use the web, and have the full features that are available. All right. See, now that's a positive AI thing, right?
That's a positive AI thing.
Okay.
I don't know how positive it is. It has to work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I know I got Gemini on my phone. What was Gemini? You mentioned Gemini.
Gemini is the Google. So that Gemini is Google.
Is that okay?
So that's the AI.
That came on my phone.
That's probably because it's a Google based phone. It's an Android phone.
It's an Android phone.
So that's what you have now. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
yes. Let's talk about this next story.
If there wasn't any more stupid ways that AI could be used for stupid people, this has to be the best.
Okay.
So
explain to this.
This
what do we got? What do we got going on here?
You shouldn't trust generative AI to come up with the right answers all the time.
Okay.
Even the tool's own disclaimers warn you to check for the factual accuracy. They're certainly not renowned for their ability to read tea leaves. However, one woman put so much faith in ChatGPT's divination skills that she divorced her husband of 20 years after it interpreted the remains of his coffee mug as signs of infidelity.
Okay, hang on here just a second.
Yeah.
So reading tea leaves.
Yeah, the coffee grounds.
So coffee grounds. So I have some coffee grounds every once in a while when you do coffee.
Well, clearly you shouldn't allow ChatGPT to use them for divination purposes.
Okay. Would anybody even do that?
I wouldn't know that it could be done, but apparently it can.
Okay. tell me more. This sounds okay. Yeah.
Rather than using ChatGPT's image skills to create Studio Ghibli style pictures, a Greek woman decided to experiment with the trend of AI tasseography, which is a form of divination that interprets shapes left by tea leaves or coffee grounds or wine sediment after a cup is drank.
Okay.
She uploaded a photo of her husband's Greek coffee grounds and asked AI to interpret them. The chatbot's interpretation was that the husband was fantasizing about having an affair with a younger woman whose name began with E, and that he was destined to begin a relationship with this person.
Oh boy!
I don't know.
How the heck did ChatGPT?
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. This is why I hate AI.
Okay, all right. Keep on. It's got to be more to this story, right?
It's also there's more to it.
Oh man,
the wife also uploaded a photo of the remains of her own coffee ground, and ChatGPT's interpretation was even more damning for the husband. It claimed he was already having an affair with this other woman and she was trying to destroy the wife's family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this enterprising young woman, or older, I don't know how old she was. I don't even know if this is true or not.
It is true, though. No, it is true.
The woman then did what any other normal person would do. She went and filed for divorce without telling her husband.
All right. Okay. All right.
So I guess she appeared on a Greek morning show. The husband said that the wife was often into trendy things and believed getting ChatGPT to read the coffee grounds would be fun. He said he laughed it off as nonsense, but she didn't. He told me to leave, informed our kids about the divorce, and the next thing I knew, I was getting a call from her lawyer.
Oh, man.
The man refused to agree to a mutual separation naturally, so he was served with divorce papers 3 days later. His lawyer is pushing the seemingly obvious argument that claims made by an AI have no legal standing, especially when it comes to reading tea leaves.
It said anybody reading tea leaves.
I don't.
Is the AI better than the gypsy lady down the street to read the tea leaves, or?
Well, I don't know. Clearly, this woman thought so.
Okay, all right.
Seems that the woman has a penchant for believing in mystical guidance. A few years ago, she visited an astrologer and took a whole year for her to accept that none of it was real.
What?
Not only is the whole situation a sad indictment of how much faith some people put in AI and tasseography, but it's also been pointed out that the readings traditionally look at the foam patterns, the swirl, and the saucer, not just the leftover coffee ground.
So the way to even do this was the wrong way.
This is three things that I fundamentally don't have a problem with the technology.
Okay, that makes sense.
We've established that.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, the technology is usually not the problem.
Okay.
It's the people using it that's the problem.
Well, this lady seems to have more problems than technology. I'm trying to be very nice. I'm sure she's a nice lady.
I don't know. This is stupid. This is like stupid criminals. You know how they get caught. And
there's TV
shows
shows about
one of the most moronic things I've ever heard of.
It's funny is you would think this would be like in Alabama or someplace like but no, this is.
What are you trying to say? What are you trying to say about Southern?
Well,
people?
you were just talking. No, I'm not saying we love our broadcasts in the Southern nations. Please, that's not the case. What I'm saying is,
I'm from the South.
I'm just saying that normally when you see things that go on in these cop movies, like you were talking, or shows, the dumb criminals.
I don't understand why anybody would use.
How the heck did the
GPT?
AI know anything about?
Well, clearly there's some sort of tasseography setting.
No, there's not. No, there's not. I'm an advanced user.
Are
of
you sure?
Yes, I'm an open AI advanced user. No. There's no tools in open AI.
Clearly, this is a trend. She said it was a trend.
So
AI tasseography.
So now all of a sudden everybody's gonna start getting divorced because they're gonna put stuff in the ChatGPT.
I don't know. I have no idea.
How do you even?
I am not the right person to talk about the marriage and all of its things.
Okay.
But I think if this happened, I think this guy kind of dodged a bullet. Actually,
he may want to get out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I don't. I think he should go
Dodge.
ahead and grant her the divorce and go on with his happy life because this is.
Just think of that last year when he had to tell the lady whatever she got from the other person was incorrect.
The astrology. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
The moon is in my hammies.
Okay, story number 3. Crypto security exchange Coinbase has significant security breach and it's fighting back. So let's talk about it. This is kind of cool. This is a highlight story for me. Not that Coinbase got breached, but Coinbase, a cryptocurrency exchange. This is the one on TechTime Radio that we recommend people to use.
Yours, right?
Yep, that's what I use. A lot of people use that. It has over 100 million customers. Has disclosed the cyber criminals working with a rogue support agent stole customer data and demanded a $20 million ransomware not to publish the stolen information. So the disclosed cyber criminals worked with people within the company or support agents within the company to steal the deals. So it was an inside job, to say the least.
Well, isn't it always?
99% of the time it is. It's very rare that you actually have somebody going on and pilfering into the company outside in a CIA van.
It's not the technology. It's us.
Well, listen to this. The company said it will not pay the ransom, but instead established a $20 million reward fund that leads to help find the hackers and who coordinated this attack. Now, this is the way you do it.
Dead or alive, $20 million.
That's right. You know what? If you can find out who this person is, if you can put in some eye drops into their coffee and they don't read the tea leaves, then they won't be in existence anymore.
Yeah,
you got yourself maybe $20 million from Coinbase. Now, disclosure comes after the criminals behind the breach emailed Coinbase on May 11th demanding the $20 million ransom to prevent public disclosure of stolen information. Now, the threat actors managed to steal a combination of the personal identity information and up to 1% of Coinbase customer base, around 1 million users. They couldn't steal the customer's private keys or passwords and couldn't access Coinbase Prime accounts and hot and cold wallets belonging to the affected customers of the crypto exchange. In a filing with the U.S. Securities of Exchange Commissions, the SEC, the company says the data stolen in this incident includes name, address, phone, and email, which you can get from any what do you want to say? Any private medical breach that happens to you, since it happens all the time to these private medical companies. Masked security, social security, which is the last 4 digits only. Not very helpful, but okay. Masked bank account numbers and some bank account identifiers. Government ID and images, including driver's license and passport. Account data, balance snapshots and transaction history, and limited corporate data, including documents, training materials, communications available to support agents. So like the help desk, support agent information. Cyber criminals bribed and recruited a group of rogue overseas support agents to steal the Coinbase customer data to facilitate social engineering attacks. There you go, the social engineering attacks. It's the humans that got attacked. The insiders abused their access to customer support systems to steal the account data for a small subset of customers, Coinbase said in a Thursday blog post. So now let's talk about that. So
I think everybody should go Old West and
let me just tell you, on the dark web,
bounties
on the dark web right now, there are people that are actually working to find out who the people were, have the actual tracking of information. This is if you want to stop cybersecurity, this is the way to do it, because now you have the hackers on the dark web that are trying to figure out who did it, verify that with IP addresses, and they're going to do way better job of tracking down who did this for $20 million, because it's easy money. All you got to do is start going back and tracking the IP, who did this, who posted something about it. So all you got to do is be a snitch for $20 million versus all the technology that you need to do for the rest. This Coinbase method is the method that I think may help stop some cyber criminal attacks. All right.
Let's hope.
I hope so.
I think that's an interesting response.
You think so? I liked it. All right. Well, that ends our. So you know what? They must have an actual IT person there that knows what they're doing. So all these companies, when they get breached and that PR comes on out and they say, and you just know that FireEye and these horrible companies out there go on in to give them IT security that don't know what they're doing. This.
Yeah, there's your plug.
There you go. This at least is a company that has somebody in IT that says, you know what? Screw it. We're not going to pay them money. We're going to go after them. All right. That ends our technology stories of the week. Moving on, Phil Hennessey will be up next, breaking down AI and what an LLM, a large language model, is. As we talk about it on the show all the time, now we get to debrief of what it is. That's what Phil does best. He breaks things down. He tells you never to get in an autonomous vehicle in the snow and many other different things. Now, buckle up as we drive 88 miles per hour into our next segment. See you after this commercial break.
Looking for custom glass solutions for your next commercial project? Hartung Glass Industries is your trusted partner in custom glass fabrication. For over 100 years, Hartung has delivered proven manufacturing expertise, comprehensive product offerings, and dependable service and quality. From energy-efficient facades to custom shower doors, we create glass solutions tailored to your project needs. With 8 facilities across the U.S. and Canada, we combine national expertise with a local touch-ensuring faster service and unparalleled customer care. Hartung Glass Industries, where quality meets innovation. Visit hartungglass.com to learn more.
Welcome back to Tech Time with Nathan Mumm. Our weekly show covers the top technology subjects without any political agenda. We verify the facts, and we do it with a sense of humor in less than 60 minutes. And, of course, with a little whiskey on the side. Today, Mark Gregoire, our whiskey connoisseur, is in studio. Mark, what have you chosen for us today?
Today, we are drinking Blanton's Gold Edition.
Ooh.
So from Buffalo Trace's website, the world's first single-barrel bourbon was created in 1984 by Elmer T. Lee, named after former distillery president Colonel Albert B. Blanton. The Gold Edition was the second version created after the original 93 proof. This 103 proof Blanton's Gold is very limited, but a favorite among discerning bourbon aficionados.
Discerning?
Thank you.
What just happened? What just happened?
I'm here to always correct grammar.
Did Nathan correct the grammar of Mark?
I'm a thesaurus.
What the? Did you have ChatGPT read?
No, I did not have that. Okay, keep on going. All right.
Hints of spicy rye and tobacco on the nose, followed by caramel and honey, dark fruit, and citrus notes. The palate has the same complex aroma with rye, tobacco, and honey. Oak and vanilla contribute to an extremely long and harmonious finish.
Now, this is like a $300 bottle, isn't it?
Well, let's talk about it. It's from Sazerac Company, which is the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky. It's straight bourbon. It's non-age stated. It is 103 proof. The mash bill is undisclosed. MSRP is $105.
Oh, it's 105.
Now it goes on the secondary market for $210.
Okay.
And if you find it at liquor stores that are marked up, it could be upwards of like up to $300.
This is good stuff. This is good. I like this already.
Yeah, and it helps his grammar improve. Apparently,
It did. I appreciate the correction. I was struggling there.
Were you?
Yeah,
I'm always here for you.
you haven't had enough liquor, and
I know I haven't had my first sip. I was going to drink a little before I started. And I was like, no, I want to make sure
on his third
to read these big words right, and I'll start drinking now.
Okay.
Now, if you do start drinking out there, drink responsibly. Heaven can wait.
That's right. Thank you so much, Mark. With our whiskey tasting completed, let's move on to our feature segment today. Today, we're driving into an exciting technology called large language models, or LLMs. They're quietly powering your smartphones, computers, and smart speakers. But what exactly are they, and how do they affect our lives? Let's start our next segment.
Welcome to the AI segment, Chat About Cat, with our TechTime guest, my favorite humanoid, Mr. Phil Hennessey.
All right, Phil, welcome to the show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourselves, because you've been off for a little sabbatical, and we're glad to have you back on the show. Tell everybody that may be listening that hasn't heard any of your episodes a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I'm an engineer and right now senior vice president for a company, insurtech company that we use AI to detect risk for factories and warehouses and help them get better and prevent injuries. So I'm familiar with AI, and I've done robotics in the past and deployed large safe city projects over for $1 billion projects and that type. So a lot of change management, a lot of technology understanding and systems integration work I've done.
Well, thank you. All right, now we love having you on our show. All right, so with you on our show, we always get to talk, and you kind of break down the stuff for the everyday person type of deal. So, Phil, let's start very simple. All right, what exactly is a large language model? And kind of explain this for everybody that would be listening.
Sure. So if people are familiar with ChatGPT is a large language model. And basically, it's a very powerful AI program that is used to understand, generate, respond using human language. And actually, it's also getting into visuals. That's how we did this reading thing. And I want to talk about that a little bit. But, it's these models read enormous amounts of text. From basically scrape the entire web, any book that's been digitized, blogs, website articles, Facebook, whatever, right? They've ingested all this information. And then they're able to use that information in different ways. And one of the ways they can do that is they can then take a shot at coffee ground. Coffee grounds
and make a determination on that.
The term is cassiography.
Yeah, you could say that word. I haven't drank yet, but that's all you. Cassiography.
All right. So how do large language models actually work? How do the models understand and produce languages? Because they have it not just in English, of course, they have it in French and German, all these different areas. How do we go about actually having these things work?
All right. So there's we use neural networks, that is the basis for the computation behind it, which is trying to mimic the human brain as much as possible. And then in the programs itself, they have these types of programs called transformers, or self-attention, allowing the models to then understand each word. So it understands each word, and each self-attention or attention block understands one word, and they link and work together to build out that sentence and then that essay or that paragraph and that essay or that resume. So each one understands how one word or two words work together. And then that's why there's billions of these things that are happening at once. That's why you need these huge data centers now. And you're getting, Microsoft, trying to turn on a nuclear power plant to just power an AI data center right now because of all this billions of parameters that they're doing. So imagine these huge data centers, and they're basically just producing all this mathematical computation, billions and billions of computations.
So it's kind of. Have you ever seen Mike? Have you seen that movie Eagle Eye?
Yeah.
Okay, so you see all those big server databases. So I guess, Phil, the nicest way to say is that, like some of the movies illustrate, there are these huge data centers, tons of information that they're storing in their.
So we have is acres and acres and acres of all these data producing gizmos, right?
Yep.
That are trying to mimic the brain in a single person walking around.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and to think about that, Mike, is think about that. What we have in our head, we need acres and acres of computers to not even get to where we are yet.
Right.
Even the lady that decided to divorce her husband probably has more.
Yeah, she has more brain computational power than the chat.
ChatGPT did.
Well, she doesn't use it right, but hey, you know.
All right,
But there was probably a blog on deviation somewhere out there, and ChatGPT said, "Okay, here's my examples of coffee grounds, and this is what it says."
Yeah, that's right.
If I were looking at this more as a professional, like I should, there's probably other stuff going on in that marriage that may warrant that. But I mean, just that idea is just
All right.
Shoot me now.
So, can you give us a simple, everyday example of what a large language model is? So, if I'm driving around listening to the show, I got the idea that there's huge data centers, all this stuff is being there. What would be an example that people would kind of resonate well with?
Well, so if you were reading, so Amazon, and they have all the different reviews for a product. And now what they're doing is they're giving a summary of all those reviews up top in the review section. That's a large language model that's doing that summary. So you don't have to read through and scroll through all the reviews anymore. It's all there for you. Or if we've talked about before, I want to go ahead and customize my resume to one specific job posting. I can get my resume, I can get the job posting, I can upload together, give it a prompt, say, hey, I want to go ahead and make my resume more like this job description, so I can get an interview. So just simple things like that we can use. So it's being, and Apple's including it now, and for journaling and everything else, you can create your journal. It looks at everything you've done during the day, and it'll start helping you prompt for journal creation, things like that. So it's being intrusive all over the place now. I mean, in ways that you wouldn't even think of, that you're starting to see it. And so everybody is probably seeing an LLM during the day if they're online. Yeah. And they don't even know it right now.
I like the fact that you said intrusive. It's intruding. It's intruding on It's intruding on my life in ways I don't necessarily want it to.
Okay, it's
intruding on that poor guy's life.
Yeah, just think. What's interesting now is you can't really opt out of a lot of these user agreements, right? I buy myself a Siri device. I buy myself an Alexa device, and guess what? All of a sudden, I need to make sure that I allow the terms of agreement so I can use that item I've bought, and every single time they decide to write something new in there, guess what? I have to accept it, and they get more and more access to more and more of my data.
All your data. And that's where the training data comes in, is they're using this data, all this information that we generate to retrain their models. And so depending on the terms of service that we're agreeing to, they're allowed to use our data anonymized to help retrain and modify the models to make them more human-like. So that's what's happening.
Let's talk about the models. How do they remember all of this information? Right? So, I mean,
don't.
Well, they have to.
They don't
be able,
have a memory.
Well, how do they store this information, I guess, is my next question. If they're having these models that are there.
Instead of memorizing like a human does, it creates embeddings or mathematical representations or statistical analysis. So remember I talked about these transformers, they each kind of, they associate different words together. So it's basically a big data map, I'll call it, for lack of better words, or a big word map. And it's linking everything together. And then it says, okay, this word should go with this word in this context. So I have a certain prompt I want, and it says, okay, for this type of prompt, say it's a medical question, I know these words kind of work together. So it's all statistic. And simplification of it is a statistical analysis of the words to see what word goes with what word.
So it doesn't have free thought, right? I mean, that's the one thing that everybody thinks about all these AIs. They're going to take over the world like Terminator 2.
Well, That was like that Google engineer.
Now maybe more like war games.
Thought it was
maybe more like war games. Where the computer just decides to attack because they're scared of stuff. It may take X equals Y, and then all of a sudden Y is bad, and so that you need to get rid of that. But it is not using logical thinking processes or connected synapses to create a predictive information that's available to come on out of your brain at the time, right?
Well, I would say it's doing a lot of that, but it's not free thinking. It's not conscious.
Okay.
So I think the way I would rather explain it, because it is taking predictive of, hey, this word should go with this word, should go with this word to go ahead and make your essay. And they're doing the same thing now with visual as well, as they're taking billions of images like YouTube, like Google has YouTube, and they're ingesting all of YouTube's videos and then into their models and seeing how they can use that for visual interpretation now that you can do that as well. So these large language models are actually becoming what we call multimodal or systems where they can do visual interpretation as well.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right. So we're going to have to break this into two parts because I want to do a whole thing just on businesses. So let me, so we'll put a little bit of a cliff note or a little paper clip, not Clippy though, because he's no longer available, but a little.
Put a pin in it?
Put a pin in it. There we go. So tell me though, where do you think large language models technology is heading as we kind of wrap up this consumer version of this?
Clearly it has an exciting frontier in the new age market.
Mike loves his story. He's still on his story. He's still like, what's going on with the coffee grinds? It's not going to work.
So I think you're going to see smaller agents, you're going to see smaller, what I call agents, helping you with emails and or setting your reservation for dinner or for making your doctor's appointment. I think you're going to see that in the next couple of years, where you have personal agents helping you with different things that are going to be for different types of support like that you can use that would be basically an executive assistant that would help you, personal assistant that would help you with those types of things. I think that's where it's going to go.
There you go. It could be your executive
Wally
assistant. Well, there you go. We talked about...
We're headed towards Wally, man.
We talked about our show about the Visa AI agents, right? I mean, it's kind of the same thing. So should we be scared? Last question before we break. Should we be scared of AI? Because I go to some events here as a technologist, and I see some people that are scared of stuff, and then other people that are not scared of this. What do you think? Should we be scared, not scared? Where are we at?
Well, I'm going to answer it a little bit different way. Okay. I don't think you can trust everything it says right now. It hallucinates. Okay. So back to Mike's story, if you're going to believe everything it says, you're going to take actions that may not be correct for your life, right? Yeah. So you need to have common sense in reading it. And it's so good at stating a fact that this partially sometimes true and false. You really have to be an expert in that field sometimes to understand it, or otherwise. So there's still going to be quality control and what I would call human in the loop, but you still need to make sure you have your reasoning, your thinking, and you're critical and using this information, because it can hallucinate. It will lie to you if you don't do the right prompt. It will give you what you want. It thinks you want sometimes. So that's what I'm scared of. It's like, are we going to get the right information? Like my work, everybody uses it. It's great. They always ask it questions for different things, but I'm like, are we getting the right answers from that? Are they real? Are we checking that answer? And that's what I'm more worried about is are we relying on it too much? And I saw an article the other day that people that use these models like ChatGPT all the time are losing their critical thinking skills.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We've talked about that.
All right, Phil, you know what? We are going to need to create a tagline here. HITL. All right, we need to market this. We need to trademark this. Human in the loop, right? You said that in here. I think that is going to be the new definitive terminology that we have to have an AI. It'll be called HITL. Human in the loop. I think you started it right here, so that you can take credit of the father of the HITL, making sure humans are in the loop.
Humans are in it. I like it. I don't think I created it though. I probably stole it from somebody else, but okay.
Okay, well,
but I like it.
We're gonna just claim it right
We're just
here.
gonna run around saying "hiddle" all the time.
And if we say it enough times and we get published on YouTube as much as our show is, then maybe we can be a part of the algorithm as the creator.
There we
So you
go.
just need to
I
say
love
it.
it.
Yeah, then the AI is going to predict the future from your coffee.
All right. All right, Phil. So we want to thank you for being a part of the show. Next time on the show, we're going to take a look at how businesses use LLM, large language models, and some of the challenges. Thank you so much for being a part of our show. We could not be happier to have you back breaking down terminology and technology for us.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Bye,
guys.
Phil.
Take care.
All right. Okay. Phil does a great job breaking down technology. And with that, now let's move on to Mike's mesmerizing moment.
Welcome to Mike's mesmerizing moment. What does Mike have to say today?
All right, Mike, here's my question. We're going back to kind of the first story. AI is being
What was the first story? What was that
the
one?
Google with all the new good stuff that we have.
All the new, yay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, AI is. Yeah, I know you're still liking your tea leaves and coffee ground stuff, but AI is being used to help people. What areas of technology can AI help next with, in your view?
I don't know why you ask questions like that. Why do you ask questions like that?
Because this is.
Why do you want to? I like it when we have technology that can help in like the medical field, in the field of astronomy, where it can help predict things like where a black hole may be. I don't really like it when AI comes in and starts doing certain things. Like Phil said, the more we use this stuff, the less intelligent we get.
Yeah.
And that's that's one of the hugest problems that I have with technology, and especially AI, is that we have this issue with critical thinking. Obviously, critical thinking is a huge problem for some people. Otherwise, they wouldn't get divorced based on the predictions of an AI, right?
Yeah.
So we have that issue already, and then we're going to start leaning into something that's going to do essentially what the calculator did for people.
Yeah.
You no longer have to memorize mathematical equations because something already can do it for you. And so we lose that ability to think properly through something. So in a future where everybody's using ChatGPT, what do you think that's going to look like?
It's just going to be everybody.
Hey, Google, how do I cook this so that I don't die? Oh, well, you need to add, some lead-based paints and,
Okay. Yeah. Anything we'll just start believing it so much that we're just going to be like, whatever the AI says, we're going to do.
We adapt.
Okay.
Humans adapt. And one of the problems I have with AI is that we're adapting in the wrong direction.
Look at that. Your AI just went off on your phone.
My AI just tried to
tell you something.
Intrude on my thing here.
All right, well,
that was Gemini.
That was
that stupid Gemini thing.
Well, it's you got it loaded on your machine. There you go. I will say this. Do you know that NASA resurrected Voyager 1's thrusters after 20 years? AI helped them figure out a solution to re-kick that in.
That's something that I think is cool.
Okay. So
using it to define tea leaves, I don't think that's cool.
No, I don't either. So I do think there's some great tools in it. And now all of a sudden you have these thrusters working on a deal that you couldn't for 20 years. And the AI actually figured out the simple thing was an over switched item that they just rerouted the switch to a different location, turned it back on. And now all of a sudden we have this interstellar spacecraft and now it's thrusters and continue on. So I think there is some good stuff about it, right?
I mean, the big problem is that we're going to it doesn't. It's something that mimics the human brain. It doesn't do it well, but we are thinking it does.
All right. Well, thanks for that mesmerizing moment. Up next, we have This Week in Technology. So now's a great time to enjoy a little whiskey on the side as I will be finishing my glass during the break. You're listening to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. See you in a few minutes.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so you know what? We need people to start liking our social media pages.
If you like our show, if you really like us, we could use your support on patreon.com.
Or is it Patreon? I think it's Patreon.
Okay, Patreon. If you really like us, you can.
And you say I'm the English guy?
Patreon.com.
I butcher the English language?
You butcher the English language.
Okay, so it's
all the time.
It's Patreon.com.
Patreon.com. If you really like our show, You can subscribe to patreon.com and help us.
Oh, and you can visit us on that Facebook platform. You know, the one that Zuckerberg owns?
The one that we always bag on?
Yeah, you can. We're on Facebook, too.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
You know what our Facebook page is?
TechTime Radio.
At TechTime Radio.
Yeah.
You know what? There's a trend here.
It seems to be that there's a trend, and that's TechTime Radio.
Or you can even Instagram with us.
And that's at TechTime Radio.
That's at TechTime Radio. Or you can find us on TikTok.
And it's TechTime Radio.
It's at TechTime Radio.
Like and subscribe to our social
Like
media.
us today. We need you to like us.
Like us and subscribe. That's it.
That's it. That's that simple.
And now, let's look back at this week in technology.
All right, we're going back to May 24th, 1935. The first night baseball game was played. Now, the first night Major League Baseball game is played in Cincinnati, the hometown of the Reds, defeating the visiting Philadelphia Phillies 2-1. Now, night baseball caught on all around the league very quickly, except for the team in Chicago, as the Chicago Cubs did not play a home game until 1988. Yeah, this is very interesting. They used to always play baseball games during the day. They found out when you play it in the evenings, people could go to work, and then after work, they can interject and go in and be a part of a baseball game.
Duh.
I know.
More ticket sales.
That's right. That was This Week in Technology. If you ever wanted to watch some Tech Time history with over 250 plus weekly broadcasts spanning our 4+ years, we have video, podcasts, blog information. You can visit us all at techtimeradio.com. and watch our older shows and get all of our whiskey reviews. We are now becoming the whiskey library of the large language models of all the internet for our thumbs up and thumbs down reviews. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, we have Mark's Mumble Whiskey Review. See you after this.
Attention, all geeks and pop culture enthusiasts. Get ready for the ultimate celebration of everything geek at GeekFest West Game Expo, July 18th through the 20th in downtown Everett, Washington. Join us for 3 thrilling days packed with cosmic cosplay, gaming tournaments, retro movies, and a street fair brimming with unique vendors. From the innovative Geektopia Vendor Hall to the Galactic Time Warp showcasing beloved film classics, including Ghostbusters, The Wrath of Khan, and our special 40th anniversary showing of Goonies. There's something for everyone. Plus, participate in interactive events, from keynote speakers each day to special guest artists. Tickets are on sale now. Secure your spot for this epic celebration at geekfest.com. Get your badges from one-day passes to VIP options and don't be left out. Visit geekfest.com. GeekFest West, the biggest gathering of geek fandom in Snohomish County.
The segment we've been waiting all week for. Mark's Whiskey Mumble.
May 20th. What are we doing today? What are we celebrating with our whiskey?
May 20th. We're celebrating with our whiskey. Oh,
It's the 520 instead of 420.
420. Wow.
No.
Marijuana. No, 520. We are celebrating the ability to share whiskey with friends.
Wow.
No, it's not that corny.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. You can say that? Okay, what is it?
We're celebrating National Coffee Divining Day.
No, today, May 20th, is Be a Millionaire Day.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I can get behind that. Who's giving out the money so I can be a millionaire?
Well, let me tell you, Mike.
Okay.
When you think of being a millionaire, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Not working.
I think of the TV show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Whatever your personal dreams may be, celebrate today by doing at least one thing that makes you feel like a million.
Oh.
So, treat yourself.
Oh, okay. Treat yourself. Is that what it is saying?
Don't laugh. Don't look. You made
Odie's over here
fall
crying.
out of the chair, man.
Odie knows where that's from.
Oh, I do not know where that's from.
Parks and Rec.
That's from.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the best scenes ever on TV.
I feel like that's a little bit of a letdown, Mark. You know, the whole not the saying, but the whole Be a Millionaire Day.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, we are celebrating Be a Millionaire Day with Blanton's Gold.
Oh, I get it.
The bourbon choice of those living the lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Oh.
Minus the yacht.
Okay.
With bourbon wishes and barrel-proof dreams.
So if you have a Oh no, we're gonna go into what was that? The
Teody didn't laugh because she doesn't know this.
She
That's
doesn't
right.
know
was
what that
the,
means.
Famous. What's his face that did the Rich and Famous?
Yeah, lifestyles. Of
Yeah,
the
Rich and
lifestyles
Famous.
of the.
Hi, I'm with the lifestyles.
What was his name?
Oh, hang on a second.
I don't remember.
Oh, I
his
remember.
name.
As soon as lifestyle. Okay, keep on going.
Anyway, Mark.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Yes.
Well, that's pretty good.
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
that's
I
pretty
can't
good.
do.
I can almost hear his name. All right. Blanton's Gold Edition was originally released exclusively for the Japanese market in 1993, nearly a decade after the debut of the original Blanton single barrel in 1984. It was then later also released in Europe. In 2020, after 27 years of being available only internationally, Blanton's Gold Edition was introduced to the U.S. market, allowing the American bourbon enthusiast to experience this once exclusive expression, assuming you can even find it. What can I say about Blanton's Gold? Well, quite honestly, a lot. It is a delicious pour that stands well above its more common sibling. I usually keep regular Blantons on hand as a crowd pleaser tater bottle. It is fun to share, but not something I reach for myself. Blanton's Gold, on the other hand, holds a special spot on my shelf. It's reserved for moments with my fellow whiskey lovers and for those times I want to treat myself. And I'm sharing it with you too.
And with us.
It offers a richer mouthfeel, a subtle Kentucky
I
hug.
feel like a millionaire right now.
There you go, Mike. And a burst of those classic bourbon notes we all chase. Simply put, this one is a standout and well worth the hunt to find a bottle or have a pour at a bar.
Now, is this like champagne wishes and caviar dreams?
Oh,
Yes,
there
it
it is.
As Robin Leach would say.
Robin Leach,
on the
that's it.
I'm Robin
lifestyles of
Leach.
the rich and famous. There you go.
You remember that show, Odie?
No.
Do you have any idea what
So,
that
see,
show is?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
It
Did
is
you-
But
one-
I have heard that phrase
Okay.
or that whatever you want to say.
That's what he closed out each
that
of the
was
shows.
that was his
Yeah,
close.
you have to be old to know that, like our friend Greg Manab.
This is a program to show you how bad off life really is
All right.
for all of us poor slobs.
Okay, so what does Whiskey Chris think of this? Do you know?
Well, he's got a bottle of this exact one too.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
he
okay.
loves it.
You notice my glass is gone.
I know. So is Mike's. I'm the only one
mine's
with the
gone,
little
too.
whiskey
Okay,
left.
there you go. That's a shame if you want
So,
to share that with
It's
us.
almost $300.
Well, that's like if you go to
That's on the
certain
black
certain liquor stores that really
That's
do museum prices.
Uh huh.
It's 105 is MSRP,
Okay.
and trading on secondary market.
You
it's
know
around
what else has
210.
MSRPs?
What's that?
Cars.
That's right. All right.
Without giving away your mumbles, would you buy it, Nathan?
Absolutely.
Okay.
No, it's too much.
No, I would have a bottle. I have Blanton's up there on my shelf right at the very top.
Yeah, you got the
Oh,
tater
okay.
bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, so
The
I do.
regular one.
You
I
inherited that. You didn't buy it.
no, I bought
Yeah,
that.
but Nathan's the cheapo, so.
No, I'm not always a cheapo. I am not.
Whoa.
Wow.
Did you buy the Blantons?
Yes, I did.
You sure?
I'm 100% sure.
Did you buy it
Yes,
at MSRP?
I might have wait some more. I still buy all my stuff.
So
Anyway.
it was on sale.
All right, whiskey and technology are a great pairing, just like the only two songs sung at every Major League Baseball game. Do you know what they are? It's "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" and the national anthem.
You know, you having to explain that just takes the air out of it.
No, that's a great combination of pairings. All right, let's prepare for our
And you know what
technology.
baseball is, right, Odie?
Wow.
The young kids don't do baseball.
Yeah. Well, that I think that's a fair question.
She knows what that is. Okay.
If you don't know,
Are you
if
serious? The station rebroadcasts the minor league team. I have to sit through baseball
Yeah, she
every
watches.
week.
She listens
See,
to
there it
the
is.
Tacoma Rainiers.
I have to sit
Wow.
through it.
Well,
Yeah,
and I
whatever.
played softball. Okay, so
Okay.
I do know
What position did you play?
Checking.
catcher and outfield.
Don't
okay.
feel bad. I mean, lifestyles of the rich and famous you don't know about. Some people
Now
don't
let's
know
move
what
on to
baseball
our
is.
technology fail of the week. This is our leader. This is now the fourth time they have had a technology fail on our show.
Dun, dun,
They
dun.
are the leader. You know when they kind of do like the 5 person club for Saturday Night Live when you host 5 shows?
Oh yeah.
So this is now becoming our fourth. This is our leader, our fourth.
You sure Tesla's not ahead of them?
No, they're not. They're
Really?
tied. They're tied.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
Congratulations. You're a failure.
Oh, I failed, did I?
Yes.
Did I?
Yes.
All right, our fourth time we've had this company on. It is Waymo. All our technology failure. Now, you know what?
No.
What happens let's just talk about what happens when you get in a wreck in a Waymo car. Do you know what happens?
You die horribly?
No, it's just who gets the ticket? Does the driver? Does the company? That's still up in the air, depending on which state you're in.
What do you mean? There is no driver.
Well,
How
you
is
as a
that up in the
passenger.
air?
As a passenger.
There's literally nothing that you can do to influence
It depends on if you're in California or Arizona or
Really?
Texas.
You're sitting in the back seat.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay,
keep continuing.
all right.
If you, I don't
More
know.
than
I guess if you're
1,200
stupid enough to ride in one, you should probably get billed for it.
All right, more than 1,200 Waymo cars had to get their software updated because of reported incidents in Waymo's vehicles hitting gates, chains, and other road obstacles. Like just going for
This is the
and
same.
hitting it.
This is the
Just
same
hitting
one
it.
that couldn't navigate snow, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Phil talked about that on our stuff. So the volunteer recall was submitted last week to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration regarding the affected fifth generation automated driving systems. However, officials said the issue was resolved through a software update that was rolled out starting November 2024 to the 1,000 plus cars impacted. The recall doesn't impact any Waymo cars currently on the road because those are, I guess, sixth generation and above. Before the update, the driverless cars caused minor crashes with chains, gates, and other obstacles on the road. No injuries were reported, and the NHTSA started an investigation into Waymo in 2024 after receiving reports of 16 incidents regarding minor crashes. Now, Waymo provides more than 250,000 paid trips every week in some of the most challenging driving environments in the U.S. Now, they say that they hold themselves to higher standards, and our records indicate less injuries over the tens of millions of fully autonomous miles driven on our technology-based roads to make them safer. Now, a Waymo spokesman says that they are the world's most trusted driver. A voluntary recall submission comes after more than 600 self-driving cars needed a software update in June of 2024 because one hit a telephone pole.
I want to ask the Waymo spokesperson if he uses Waymo.
See what we do?
Hey, do you guys use the product?
I'm sure he does. He's probably like 16 years old.
I might disagree with this a little, Mike.
Well,
I've been traveling a lot, and human drivers are horrible.
Are they?
Absolutely horrible. I'd rather take a car that occasionally hits a gate and a chain.
Okay.
Wait,
over most
what?
humans.
Really?
Absolutely.
What about when they can't navigate construction and like drive in the
they can't
construction
even park
zones?
in their own parking lots.
Yeah, they
Sometimes
circle
they
park.
park in the middle of the intersection and then let people out. Now you can exit.
Well,
I guess
isn't
you're
that like a
safe.
lot of
People are-
humans?
Well, it could
No.
be.
Yeah, a lot of humans just park anywhere. All the Uber drivers park in the middle of the street. You go to a parking space and there's park diagonal.
Waymo cars.
I can
Hang on.
I can get behind that in partly because I drive every day and I see stupid people and I'm not the best driver in the world either, but I'm a known entity.
All right. Well, guess what? They've had now 202 crashes in Arizona since 2021 to 2024. And only 31 of them resulted in any injuries.
Only 31 of them resulted in injuries.
All right. And officers determined the self-driving cars are not at fault 87% of the time.
They're bingo.
If you're in the 13%, best of luck. You're just sitting there and you're locked in a cage, and hopefully no one hits you in the back, which happened to some
So
poor
humans,
individuals.
87% fault. Waymo,
No, I wouldn't say
13%
that.
fault.
All right. You know what?
I like that number.
Let's move right now
Drink some more
immediately
Blanton's,
in. Can we go right into the Nathan Nugget? All right, let's do that.
Apparently, we can't.
This
there it
is your nugget of the week.
Oh, hopefully your mic wasn't on there, right? Okay, shoo-wee. Little dead air, and we don't want to hear those profanities. That was a bleep out. All right, now Apple users have 7 weeks to claim their $100 back. Make sure you listen to episode 252 to learn more. But today we're continuing with some Apple news. Now, the iPhone 17 release date. When is the next iPhone coming out? Over the last several years, Apple has consistently announced its new phones in the first half of September. This will likely be the case again with the full iPhone 17 lineup planned. Now, Apple could move much of the U.S. phone production from China to India, and they've already escaped many of the tariff hikes thanks to a reciprocal tariff exemption list that includes many phones, laptops, and other electronics that Apple directly produces. That's interesting.
Right. And,
All right.
do they donate to the inauguration?
Oh, $1 million fund.
They all did, didn't they?
They did. The iPhone 17 Pro's camera has been subject to multiple rumored changes. Most notably, the Apple may have a horizontal camera bar that spreads across the width of the phone. So when you hold it on up, you can take full-sized landscape pictures. Now, the front-facing self-camera could also get an upgrade. A leaked image on X suggesting the iPhone could feature a pill-shaped camera bar that looks a lot like the camera bar on the Google Pixel 9 phone.
So, Odie, is Odie going to run out and get one of these?
No. Look at that. She's like, no.
I still have the 13. I haven't upgraded.
Okay. Yeah,
until this dies,
you better hurry.
I'm not gonna upgrade.
There you go.
Now, the technology hostage is going to kick in, and you're going to have to.
Now, you know what? With the new iPhone 17, the models will have to step up to more memory. They're going to have 12 gigabytes of RAM minimum because they can't do all their AI stuff that's available.
12 gigabytes. Okay.
Yep. So they're gonna have to do that pretty big jump. They have larger hard drive space that will be needed to actually make sure that they do the algorithms in the back. And with that, guess what? You're probably going to lose battery life. It looks like the new phone will probably only have the 8 to 10 hour battery life return, as Apple has been plagued with before. There you go.
Yeah, use your Apple device. It goes dead in an hour.
Yeah, it goes,
I don't even know. I think it's an iPhone 15.
Yeah,
for work.
Yeah,
it goes dead after a day of non-using it.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Welcome to Apple. All right, now let's move on to our pick of the day whiskey tasting.
And now our pick of the day for our whiskey tastings. Let's see what bubbles to the top.
Today we're drinking Blanton's Gold Edition from Buffalo Trace, straight bourbon, 103 proof, $105.
All right. Absolute.
Yeah, we
but
know.
But more than likely,
we
it's
know
around
what Nathan's
two
gonna
to
do.
300.
Yeah, thumbs, big time up. Love this. Probably the best whiskey I've had since
yesterday.
3 weeks ago. All right, Mike, what do you got?
Okay, I don't even think I have to say it because I like it. It's good. It's a thumbs up for me.
And this is on your shelf?
Yeah.
On your top shelf?
Oh, yeah.
All right. There you go. You love it a lot.
It's getting low, though. I'm going to have to baby this.
Are you going to treat yourself,
Oh, you know it, Odie.
Mike?
What's that? Are you going to treat yourself for today? For today?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, treat yourself well
Be
today.
a millionaire.
Be a millionaire.
Yeah, you know what?
You did buy a motorcycle.
I did buy my motorcycle.
You did.
Yes.
There you go.
Wow, you are a millionaire.
I
He's
got
gonna
$1
go around.
million life insurance policy.
That's right. All right. Well, you know what? We thank so much for you guys listening to our show. It's the fans like you that put on this show, and it's a crazy producer like Odie that makes sure it all works. All right. We want to thank everybody that listens. Always remember, the science of tomorrow starts with the technology of today. We're going to see you guys next week.
Later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.